That was so much fun. I'm never going to be upset. Even if the Broncos lose that football game, I'm not going to be upset at electrifying football like we just saw on Sunday night. Broncos country, if you are just joining us, welcome in. The Denver Broncos are victorious 27-26 in an overtime thriller over the Washington Commanders, who I'm going to start with by saying played their best game all season. I mean, Marcus Mariota, where have you been? That was an incredible game from him tonight. This isn't the Commanders report, though. This is the Broncos breakdown. So we're going to break down everything about the Denver Broncos, starting with the defense. We'll move to the offense and just overall takeaways from this game. The first thing that we need to start with is, of course, the AFC playoff picture. We're number one. Number one, 10-2. Currently tied with the record with the New England Patriots. But right now, we've got the lead. And hopefully, the New York Giants kick the you-know-what out of the New England Patriots tomorrow on Monday Night Football. Here's what I know from watching today's game. 2 weeks off puts a lot of gears slowing down for teams. And that was evident in the Broncos tonight. They couldn't get any pressure. This was the lowest pressure rate of any Broncos game from this pass rush all season. At one point, it was down to 5%. Usually, the Broncos were averaging right around 40%, for perspective. So tonight, there was no pass rush help. They just couldn't get to him. Now, whether that was a testament to the Washington Commanders' offensive line, whether that was just apathy setting in for the Broncos' defensive line and that pass rush, maybe it was a combination of that and the holding calls that just never seemed to materialize. Either way, I know this. The Broncos had their hands full tonight, defensively speaking. But as I said in my short on This Is Why the Broncos Won, sometimes it literally just comes down to one play. Nik Bonitto batting that ball away on the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that's all it takes. And before anybody gets down to the comments and says if they would have just gone for a field goal and tied it up, we would be feeling completely different. No, I wouldn't. I thought both teams played exceptional tonight. Both teams made great plays. Both teams made mistakes. That's football. Nobody plays a 100% clean game from point A to point B. And Nik Bonitto has been held. He's been double-teamed. He's been not finding the sack production that he's used to finding. He said it himself. And yet when he needed to come through the most, he bats a ball away and improves the Broncos to 10-2. This was one of the most electrifying games I've ever seen. Both teams almost identical in terms of their production. 17 more yards for the Commanders. 7 more first downs. Almost exactly the same on third down. Almost the exact same in penalties and almost the exact same in time of possession. You couldn't find a matchup that was more evenly put out than these two teams. Well, Moose, hold on. They've got a backup quarterback, man. We should have beaten this team easily. Marcus Mariota is like an 11-year vet. As far as backups go, he's one of the best in the league. And if you remember, he was a second overall pick. He's got talent. And this was by far one of the best games I've ever seen him play. So I'm not upset or going to chintz the Broncos out of any credit that they deserve for winning this football game. It was a dogfight. He also threw 50 times. Exactly, Reed. He threw 50 times. I thought the secondary, for the most part, played outstanding. Pat Surtain looked a little rusty. Riley Moss, I thought, was great outside of one bad play up the seam late in the fourth. That dot from Marcus Mariota to Deebo Samuel down to like the 4-yard line. I get it. No penalties, though. No penalties. He said he was going to fix it, and he fixed it. I thought Riley played great tonight. I got to give my credit where credit is due. The one area tonight that you could actually say was not good for the Broncos was the thing that's been the best thing about them all season long. Getting to the quarterback. I'm not going to sit here for a second and say the Broncos now have a problem. They don't. They're human beings. They've been perfect for 11 straight games. It's about time they took a night off. But what's the one thing that we've been saying about this Broncos defense comparative to the Broncos offense? When the Broncos defense doesn't show up, the offense has to. And who delivered yet again? Bo Chapman Knicks. And we're going to talk about the offense here coming up in just one moment. But first, I got to tell you and ask you, actually, that's the thing I got to do. I got to ask you, give me your one-word reaction to this Broncos game, or your one Eord reaction. You could do that too. Either way, I've got to give you mine. Wow. Because that's the only thing I can say. Wow. What a frickin' game. I had the Commanders host, Jack Sperry, come into this studio just before we started filming and said, that was one of the most entertaining games I've ever seen. And it was. It absolutely was. Let me know your one-word reaction down in the comment section down below. Before we get to the offense, we talk about Bo. And we talk about one minute, that's not so minute problem with the Broncos offense. I got to tell you about this amazing deal right here. Get over $30 off this Bo Nix jersey right now. He's Mr. Clutch. Icy Bo in his veins. $30 off by going to chatsports.com/Bo10jersey. That's Bo10jersey, chatsports.com/Bo10jersey. All of that's going to be in the comments and description of today's video. Start your holiday shopping with this Bo Nix jersey today. I think Bo Nix perfectly encapsulates what every young quarterback is in the National Football League. A momentum player that at his best moments looks out of this world. Let me just paint you a picture real quick. End of the first half. Bo Nix takes the snap, climbs the pocket, pressure collapsing on him. He goes down to one knee, or so we thought, and fires a sidearm piss missile to Courtland Sutton in the end zone to end the half for a touchdown. It was one of the greatest highlight throws I've ever seen him make. And then 2 quarters later, there was a pick right to Bobby Wagner. And we all said, where is Bo looking? There's not a soul around him. And he just painted a dot right in Bobby Wagner's chest. But none of it mattered. Because by the time that Bo Nix gets into overtime, he's so cool. He's so calm. He's so collected. Hits his back foot, drag route. Evan Ingram, who played his best game as a Bronco by far. Maybe not early on, but as the game went on, Evan Ingram was a stud. Drag route into the red zone, down to the 11-yard line. 2 plays later, R.J. Harvey scampers into the end zone. Broncos take the lead 27-20. If you think for a second tonight that the Denver Broncos offense was a major problem, you're fooling yourself. This was one of the more complete games the Denver Broncos have played on offense. There were so few drops. Courtland Sutton got targeted throughout the game. Evan Ingram finally got his shares. And over the middle of the field, Evan Ingram is an absolute stud. And don't forget Adam Troutman either. He made plays tonight as well. Now, I did mention, before I started talking about the offense, there is an issue. And here's the issue. The Broncos do not have a north to south running game right now. I mean, R.J. Harvey is your lead back, and he averaged 2.7 a carry. They are really missing J.K. Dobbins. My advice to Sean Payton is get Jamal Williams on the phone and sign him immediately. Because there's no problem with the Broncos running east to west. Outside of the tackles, they can do it. They've got the speed. They've got the agility. What they don't have is the pure strength to lower the shoulder, fight for the extra yard. It's just not a part of these 3 backs' games. R.J. Harvey still has a lot to work on in that part. His hands are unbelievable. Finding the end zone, no doubt. East to west running, absolutely. Ball in his hands, quick, agile, shifty. Looks like Alvin Kamara or Darren Sproles. But you're missing that one key 3-down, heavy carried back like J.K. Dobbins was. And that's something you got to fix. Because one of the things that the Commanders did towards the end of the game was they just stacked 8 in the box, 9 in the box, and they were like, run the ball. We dare you. Because you're not going to get more than 1 or 2 yards, even with how good the offensive line is. So there's still some things that need to be worked out, obviously. But I'm never going to ever sit here and completely dismantle a team for a performance as entertaining as this. At the end of the day, I'm a broadcaster. This is what I do for a living. I call football games. I want to give you the best product that I can give you based off of the best product that I'm seeing. So the Broncos win, they improve to 10-2, and it's a great feeling tonight. Keep your head held high, Broncos country, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, because no matter what, win, lose, tie, which it almost was, I'm going to break down a video for you. So hit that subscribe button today. Mile high salute to you. And as always, Broncos country, be cool.